for jumping on. Got head coach Ben Olsen here. Ben, road trip up to Colorado this week, Western Conference opponent. How's the team prepared for this match up in Colorado?
Well, we've prepared in the way we usually prepare for a team. Strengths, weaknesses, and giving them some ideas to play with, and it's a combination of being ourselves and doing what we do, and that also understanding every team is a little bit different, and make sure the players understand who they are and what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are. I think it was a good week of preparation. We think we have a good game plan, but then the whistle blows, and in the end, you still have to make some plays. And again, Seattle, good game plan, good performance, and didn't make the play. And at times this year, we've made the plays that matter. And Seattle, we just we couldn't break down a tough box defending team. So we've looked to remedy that and be a little bit more dangerous in the final third. But other than that, it's nice to get back on the road. We haven't had a lot of these this year, so it's another chance for us to prove, or a chance for us to prove that we're a capable team on the road.
All right, thanks for that. We'll start with Dustin. Go ahead, Dustin.
Hey, Ben. Just looking at Colorado, very different Colorado now under new head coach Matt Wells. Just what have you seen from them this season, and what are you kind of expecting from them?
Well, they're definitely not your, typical MLS team. They're doing some things that are, in some ways, new to our league and how they go about building the game and how they go about arriving in your final third and how they score goals. Again, it's something we've seen a little bit with Chicago this year and how they go about it. So, it's just a matter of us giving the guys the right information. Again, and find that balance of how much it's about us and how much it's about dealing with how they go about the game. But certainly athletic all around the park. Good mix of youth and some experience out there. A lot of attacking width, talent there. Navarro is he's just a pain in the ass to play against. I say that as a compliment. And Aronson's buzzing around and has some real freedom. So a really good front four, and athleticism and quality everywhere else. And Colorado's never easy to go to, but again, we've hung in there in the past there, and we're looking to have the right mindset to get something out of this game.
And so last one for me is defensively. You guys have been in and out, red cards and injuries and all those things. You guys haven't posted a clean sheet yet this season. But now that you have the majority of the guys back from suspensions, injuries, looks like, how do you feel this defensive unit is coming together?
Who's coming back from injury?
Well, I don't know. That's for you to answer, I guess.
Well, no, Artur is not going to be available. Lucas Halter is not available. But yes, from suspension, Eric comes back into the decision-making process for sure. So Markinich, Nick is coming back from his long hiatus. But yeah, we're fine. We still would like some more numbers, that's for sure. But this is what we are, and I think we have a competitive group. It's a pretty deep squad, so I think we'll be fine from a selection standpoint. The choppiness, some of that's on us is with the red cards. So you got to keep doing a better job with that stuff. Defensively, I think take out the Dallas game, it's been pretty good. Overall, I'd give it, a B on the defensive side. Again, it's easy to say, take out the Dallas game where we gave up 4 and we just had a poor day on the road defensively with some of our habits and some of the discipline. And we've talked about that and how this game has to be, going on the road. All the little things really matter when you go on the road in the MLS, the details, open ball, when we drop, how we drop together, just collective pressing, collective dropping, and box defending. So that part has to get better if I'm going off of the Dallas game. But we're scoring more goals too, so that's a positive.
Thanks, Ben.
Ramon, go ahead.
Hey Ben, you were going through that list in your head about the injuries. Just wanted to ask you about Jack.
Jack's day to day. We're going to go in there and figure him out now. So he's, didn't go as quick as we liked, but he's certainly very, very close. And I think that's what we got to figure out.
Good deal. And my last question is, Colorado Rapids, they had a entertaining game from a neutral standpoint last week in Toronto that saw their wingbacks, both of them saw red cards in that match. How can y'all take advantage given y'all play a wide formation while attacking and most of your dangerous players are on the wing?
Well, they'll replace them with somebody, and they're fairly deep. They may have to reach into the bag of tricks because, again, it's two in the same position. It was an entertaining game. It was kind of a wacky game. It was with all the red cards, but they're fairly deep. We've anticipated a few moves that they may put in there, and every move still puts them in a place where they're solid, like most teams. It's next man up for them, and they're good. They're interesting. They're an interesting team to kind of prepare for because they do some things a little bit differently.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
All right. Thanks, Boy.
Jorge, go ahead.
Hi there, Coach.
Hey, Jorge.
Coach, you kick off a game tomorrow, 3-game week coming up, but it could be an even longer month if you guys were to advance in the Open Cup. Just, you talk about the injuries, suspensions, people coming back. Just how do you expect this month to go?
I'm not talking about the injuries. I'm not, I'm not. We're not leaning on that. We're fine. We're fine. We're a little thin, yes, but we have plenty of guys that are ready to roll for this month, and it will come fast and furious over the next few weeks. Hopefully, we can get by in the Open Cup, and we want it to be a busy schedule. That means we're doing okay in the Cup. And it's just a matter of, they're pros. They can Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, play the game, patch them up, get them back out there. And, of course, there'll be some rotations as we do this to maximize, the month itself and making sure we could still put our best foot forward every game, both with quality but also energy. And that's a balance, and you can prepare all you want for Wednesday, but you got to get through Saturday first, and that's where the focus lies for us. And then we'll, of course, we have a skeleton, or we have a kind of a framework of how we would go about Wednesday, but that kind of goes out the window real quick after a game where whether the suspensions or someone picks up a knock. So it's still something we got to get through this game, and our focus is on Colorado. But it's nice to have I think a lot of games right now. We've been on a kind of a slow pace here, and I think this team's ready to have a lot of games, and we've won less game than most of the league. So I think we're primed for it, at least mentally.
All right. Are you done, Jorge? We'll go to Alex.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll go to Alex and then Sam.
Great. First of all, Coach, can you hear me okay, sir?
Gotcha.
Great. Coach, it's great to be with you. A slightly different question beyond maybe the X's and O's for Colorado. Are you still balancing in your life, your art, expressing yourself in different ways? And it's something I certainly haven't asked you. And is there a World Cup theme year, or how does that come to you? I imagine, like many artists, you can't control it. Maybe there's a time at 2 a.m. where you've just got to do it. May I ask you that today, Coach?
There are some times on Sunday, instead of going golfing, I may sneak to my studio in the back and paint a little bit. Just for right now, it's just a little therapy every now and then. But that's all it is. It's no different than other people's pastimes or something that they do to kind of just step away from the game and recharge. But most of all of my energy right now is on my 3 kids growing up and dealing, trying to be a good husband and try to win games for the Dynamo. That's where I wake up in the middle of the night. Not my lack of art time.
I've seen some of the work, Coach. It's pretty good, actually. So you shouldn't write it off, is what I'm trying
I don't
to say.
write it off. I don't write it off, and I don't hide from it. But it's a little bit last on my mind right now. But thanks for the question. I appreciate it. I'll have you over. I'll have you over. You can come take a look in person one day.
I would love that. So I'll ask you. Do you have a favorite artist? And I tend Picasso or Dali. If you can answer that one, it tells me a lot.
Yeah, Picasso. Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. And finally, Coach, another non-X's and O's question, at least for me. You talked about really in a previous press conference about, it doesn't matter to me who's playing. Is that because you like good soccer in general? It doesn't seem like you're a fan in the sense of, hey, I root for this one team or not. I think that was refreshing versus going for a standard response of yay for a certain team. You're focused on the Houston Dynamo. You stated that. Whether it's World Cup or other competitions, it's kind of a secondary thing to you?
1,000%. Yeah, I don't care who wins a Champions League game. I have zero skin in the game. I watch games, and it is, the longer you do this, the joy of watching a game changes, right? It becomes almost homework, and you're watching more than just sitting back and on the couch and enjoying just a great soccer game. You're looking at 1,000 different things in the game that you are looking at within your own team. So it's all just, and some of it you can't even relate to. I think on the highest level, sometimes it's hard to even, attempt to mimic what they're doing because of the talent of these world-class players. I don't have time or energy to be a fan of anybody other than my son's under 11 team, the Houston Dynamo, and I'll be a USA fan once this break hits. I'll be ready for the red, white, and blue.
Perfect. Coach, I thank you. Good luck this weekend, and I appreciate you kind of going off the X's and O's.
That's all right.
Coach.
Thank you.
Sam, go ahead.
All right. Hi, Ben. Good afternoon.
Hi, Sam.
Good morning. Yeah. Another road game, Dragons. I remember last season you called your team Road Warriors. Looking at the points they racked up on the road and how they perform on the road, do you still feel like that for this season?
I don't know. We've only had one game, Sam, and we weren't warriors in that game, as you saw. Again. And so we've had that chat, Sam. I mentioned it earlier. What do we look like on the road? Of course, we want to be ourselves, and we want to concern ourselves with how we play and dictating how we want the game to look. But that's that's kind of idealistic, and the reality of being in this league for a long time. I know the road is hard. And you're going to have to suffer at times, and you're going to have to make a couple plays, and you need to be collective, right? You need to do things as a group when you're on the road to give yourself a chance. And I think that's been a little bit of a jab to our crew, or a little bit of a challenge, if you will, of our crew this week. And this is our second test on the road, so we'll see how we did.